Have you ever noticed how you'll be walking along in life, following your own life plan, and then all of a sudden, bam! Life is throwing a mountain in your path. Now, I don't know why life does this. It hasn't seen fit to confide in me. But I will tell you something. Those mountains are bloody annoying. First one that I really remember happened in 1984. I was home from fashion college for the summer and working at a restaurant on a resort. One sunny August day, I decided to go horseback riding, so I borrowed one of the residents' horses. You're not going to believe what happened. The horse had a heart attack and fell on me. I cracked my skull, put me in hospital for 5 weeks, and then a couple more months of rehab. And needless to say, me going back to school was delayed a bit. Now, if life was trying to tell me something, I didn't listen, because as soon as I could, I was back to partying and having a good time. But I was 19 years old, so that's what I was supposed to do, right? My next mountain, June 5th, 2000. My alarm sounds, and I roll over to turn it off. But my left arm, it just flopped. Nothing happening. So I wiggled around and turned it off with my right hand. Then I went to get out of bed. But as soon as I put weight on my legs, the left one collapsed underneath me. I lay there in the carpet. I was trying to wake up, wondering what was going on, and coming to a very important realization. I had to go to the bathroom. Now, I've been told that there's no way I could have done this, but somehow I managed to shuffle my body with one side working the very short distance to the bathroom. I guess that was better than making a mess. And hold my body up under the toilet. Once I'd taken care of business there, some strength and feeling was returning to the left leg and was able to stand on it. I propped myself against the vanity and started getting ready to go to work. As I was brushing my teeth, I noticed the left side of my face wasn't moving. It was as if someone had drawn an invisible line down the center of my body. This side worked, but this side not so much. Raise your hand if you'd be scared if you woke up like this. What would you do? Pardon me? Good plan. Me? I went to work. Now, I'd like to say it's because I was such a dedicated employee, but work was closer to my doctor's office. And I did make an appointment as soon as I got to work. My doctor pokes and prods me and asks me a few questions before sending me across the street to the hospital. I sat in the emergency waiting room at St. Paul's Hospital, where my grandmother had died of a brain tumor in 1937. Now, do you excuse me for maybe thinking I had a brain tumor? Is that understandable? I also realized just how fast your life can change. When I'd gone to bed the night before, my thoughts had been all on work. I had this great job with the Canadian government. And on June 14th, my 1-year anniversary, that's when my probationary period was over, and all my benefits would kick in. And I'd have the security of a government job. I mean, there were some negatives. The blind date had gone on Saturday night. It had not gone well. And I had a few pounds to lose. Okay, I still have a few pounds to lose. But all in all, things looked pretty good that Sunday night. I waited for over 5 hours before being seen by a doctor. The emergency room doctor examines me, says, no, you don't have a brain tumor. Nor do I think you've had a stroke. I don't know what's going on. And then he disappears. He was quickly replaced by a neurology intern who pokes and prods me and asks me some questions. And then he disappears. By this time, I was fed up. I didn't care anymore. Okay, yes, I did care about what was happening, but I wanted to go home. I was tired. I was hungry. I wanted a cigarette. Finally, after 7.5 hours, I got to go home without any answers. 2 days later, I went to see a neurologist. He pokes and prods me and asks me some questions. I tried to be a good patient. I really did. But I was finally starting to get scared. My mom, she'd come to the appointment with me. And when we left, I looked at her and I said, Mom, I'm afraid that one night I'm going to go to sleep and not wake up. She took my hand in hers and said, then you call me every morning. So you have to wake up. I had a pretty great mom, didn't I? On June 14th, after an MRI, the neurologist calls me into his office and says, multiple sclerosis. I was relieved. I finally had an answer. As my late father said, the devil you know is better than the one you don't. Now, I thought that I would take some time off work and then go back and everything would continue on like it had. Have you heard that saying, man plans, God laughs? It works for women too. I took some time off work, 5 weeks, and then I went back to my old schedule. One of the symptoms of MS is chronic fatigue. And with working full time, I was exhausted. And with the fatigue, other symptoms appeared. Bladder control problems. I would get lightning pains shooting through my face. I had problems swallowing. I used to get leg tremors. I called them my Elvis legs. It just seemed like every day something else was going wrong. Finally, the end of September, I went to the MS clinic out at UBC. The doctors there and I decided I would be better off leaving work and going on disability. I was devastated. MS took the best job I'd ever had away from me. It was a job that it took me 1.5 years to get. I was 35 years old and I thought my life was over. All I could see was me sitting alone in a 1-bedroom apartment, waiting to die. That's not what happened though. Today, I am the author of 5 published books. The first, The Bond to Paranormal Love Story, has been translated into Turkish, won an award, and is being adapted to film. I'm a member of the Rick Hansen, thank you. I'm a member of the Rick Hansen Ambassador Program. I have a budding career as a motivational speaker. And I help people who have disabled themselves with debt get their power back. Now, I've been asked, how did you do it? How did I go from thinking I lost everything to now having all this? And for years, I couldn't answer. I didn't know. You know, I did it. But finally, it came to me how it happened. Would you like to know? Okay, well, life is going to throw mountains at you. And when life throws that mountain at you, I want you to look at it. You stare at it, and then you attack it. One stone, one rock, one pebble at a time if necessary. Every day, do something. Just one little thing that's going to get you to your goal. Doesn't have to be a lot. Slow and steady. And what's going to happen is that one day you're going to look behind you and there's going to be a whole bunch of rubble there. And ahead of you, just beyond a little hill, your goal. Just there waiting for you to grab it. My name is Karen Magill. Thank you for listening.
Karen Magill, everyone.